to another exciting time on the program Morning Delight. My name is John Ime. I welcome you warmly to the show. I'm excited to be here with you again on the program. We have a whole lot packaged and lined up for you. But I'm not here alone. I'm here with my co-host Praise with your Praise. How are you today? It's another wonderful.
Good morning to you too, John, and good morning to our viewers back home. We are delighted to have you join us this morning on Morning Delight, and we crave your indulgence to sit back and enjoy this beautiful package.
Of course, we have a whole lot packaged for you, but before we delve into the nitty-gritty of today's show, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Alright, let's kick off the show now with words of wisdom. Let's see some inspirational words on the program Morning Delight. We have words of wisdom right now. Wisdom. Moving on the show, we have next. Praise. What do we have next?
Right about now, we have Fit and Fresh. Let's dive into the world of fitness.
Welcome to Fit and Fresh. Today, we're looking at aerobics exercise and how it can benefit your overall health and well-being. Aerobics is a type of exercise that gets your heart rate up and improves healthy heart. It is a great way to burn calories, boost energy, and reduce stress.
Keeps me healthy, it keeps me fit, able to move around without stress, no extra unnecessary heartbeats, fast heart rates, burn fat.
When I was not exercising, I don't used to sleep. Like I sleep for like 2 to 3 hours, but now I use my alarm to wake up every day. So it's very good, it's very relaxing.
Regular aerobics exercise can help you lose weight, improve your mood, and increase your energy levels. It can also reduce the risk of chronic diseases. Ready to get started? Remember to consult with a healthcare professional before beginning any new exercise program. Start slow, set realistic goals, and have fun.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6.
we are on to our guest segment, our first guest for today. She is DCF Jeremiah Bidemi. She's the State Controller, Federal Fire Service, Edo State Command. But before we meet her, let's see her picture first. Talking about fire, but we have a vox pop to play, so let's see the vox pop on safety tips, prevention of fire outbreak.
We need to call fire, maybe this electric, maybe the wire touch or somehow if it caught fire. Mostly that electric for house or this gas, where the guy maybe you don't lock and well if you see caught fire.
Precautions should be taken, especially where there are dry clothes, dry leaves and all those things. If the dry leaves are there, like as we are talking of all these dry things, the fire is not needed here at all. When you are pouring petrol or putting petrol inside your car or motor, now you should be very careful because the flame, the petrol can catch up fire immediately as at this time. So carefulness is needed.
The fire doesn't catch by itself. Now human being that make that fire catch. Either through cigarettes. After I don't smoke it throw away. That place when it throw away and put, you don't know what they did there. Diesel may did there. The dry leaves must did there because we don't enter December now. Meaning dry season don't come. Grass when go they dry, they fall down, they dig ground now. Whatever anything fire can easily catch.
All right, madam, you've seen the views of people out there. What's your take on that?
Okay. Before I delve into what causes fire, and then the effect, I'll first of all tell us what fire is all about. Okay. From a layman understanding, I would say fire is anything that can burn. Now we also make us understand that fire is a good servant but a very bad master. That is why it is very important for us to be in control of fire. And there is no fire you cannot control at the inception stage. Only if you allow it to grow, that is when you will not be able to control it. So most fire outbreaks are preventable. Most, take note of that word, most are preventable, which implies that we can avoid it. It is when we are careless, because there are causes of fire such as carelessness, accidents and arson. So it is when you are careless or you neglect or you just overlook, you underrate, you undermine what it can lead to, that it will grow and you will not be able to control it. So what are the safety, before going into the safety tips as well, I would like us to know the classes of fire. Okay. The three major classes of fire: class A, class B and class C. Under class A type of fire, they are fire that are caused by flammable materials around us, such as the clothes we are wearing, this paper, the wood around us. In short, anything flammable, combustible materials around us, they are classified under class A fire. Then class B fire, they are liquid fire. They can be caused by aerosol, fuel, let's just say classes of fuels around us, such as PMS, premium motor spirit, AGO, kerosene, and so on and so forth. Paints, they are classified under class B fire. Then class C fire are considered to be gas fire caused by gaseous liquid such as methane, propane, butane, so on and so forth. So then we have another one classified as class E, that is electrical fire, which is very common. That is why you see anytime you leave your office, your home, or your commercial place, there is always one thing or the other that you forget to do before leaving. That is checking around. Make sure you check around so as to avoid this electrical fire, because it is one of the disastrous type of fire that we have around us. So, and that is what will bring me to the types of portable firefighting equipment that we need to have. So, and one thing about having this, it's another thing having them, it's another thing knowing how to use them. So if you have this portable firefighting equipment, you must learn how to use them. That is, you must be trained. What are these portable firefighting equipment? The first one that is common to all is a fire extinguisher of various types. We have a dry chemical powder. I will just list two: dry chemical powder and then carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Call it CO2. So the CO2 is gaseous in nature, while the dry chemical powder has powder, just as it is, as the name implies. So the two can combat the simple fire. When I say simple fire around us, fire that has not yet grown, because we have what we call developed fire. There are stages of fire. So before the fire gets out of hand, you can make use of these two common fire extinguisher, that is the CO2 and the DCP. So that takes us to what the type of fire this CO2 and the DCP can fight. The DCP can fight any fire outbreak in our filling stations, even in our homes. Electrical fire can fight electrical fire. Then the CO2 can fight kitchen fire, mostly kitchen fire. Then we have another one that is very much important. We call it fire blankets, that we can keep in our kitchen. But the fire blankets is not only in the kitchen that you can make use of it. When there is developing fire in any premises, you can use it to cover yourself. As it can be used as an escape device. You use it to cover yourself so that you leave the premise. So one thing we need to know about when fire has grown to that level that you can no longer control it, what are you expected to do? Number one, you must call the Federal Fire Service. You raise an alarm. It's very important. You don't just keep quiet. You don't just say, let me do what I need to do. What do you need? If you are not trained in handling any fire equipment, fire safety equipment, can you use it? You cannot. I've heard of somebody that said he had an outbreak around his vicinity. Yes, he had a fire extinguisher. The only thing he could do was just to throw the extinguisher into the fire. So if you are not trained,
it was well educated how to use a fire extinguisher.
So if you are not trained, you are not able to use it. So that is one thing about having fire extinguisher.
That brings me to my question. How important is fire safety education to the people out there?
All right.
You just talked about somebody throwing the fire extinguisher into the fire.
The core mandate of the Federal Fire Service, apart from fighting fire, protecting lives and property, one of the major core mandates is also to educate the public, enlighten the public, sensitize the public. Not only the general public, you go to different organizations. This is an organization on its own, this is an agency. Can invite us, we come, we enlighten you people on what to do. Likewise, going to markets, to schools and public places to tell people what they need to know. We'll be having our, although it's ongoing already, but Edo State's Command of Federal Fire Service will be having its National Fire Safety Week by first week of December. Okay. We've been doing it for some time now, since we came into Bini. We have been enlightening the public. We have gone around so many major markets, such as Kiosa Market, Aduwawa Market, New Benin Market, and Ramat, the popular Old Benin Market. And this year's theme, what I think before the PRO came up with this thing, it's like he knows what was going through my mind, because the theme for this year says building a culture of fire safety across Nigeria, overcoming the not my portion mentality. I remember in 2022 or 2023 when we went for our usual sensitization at one particular market. So we're sharing flyers, and one woman said, "Madam, please don't give me that flyer. I will not collect it." I said, "Why?" She said, "I forbid it. It's not my portion." So that kind of interpretation or perspective we need to avoid. So that's why this thing came up. Overcoming the not my portion mentality. This habit, this lifestyle, what you are doing can result into fire outbreak. Stop it. You say, it can never happen to me. It is not my portion. God forbid. God forbid every good thing. So it is left for you to take action. So, and that is why the gospel we are preaching is that fire prevention is everybody's responsibility.
Of course.
And it is only by adopting that safety culture that we can avoid all this fire outbreak. So you say, what of the fire outbreak that happens on the highway, like through road accidents? Yes, we know that road traffic accident can result, or road traffic collision, RTC, can result into fire outbreak. But there are some measures you need to, as a driver, as a tanker owner, as a commercial person, a motorist, there are some measures you need to put in place to avoid it. If you have a fire extinguisher, when you bought the vehicle, or when you bought the vehicle, you have your fire extinguisher inside the vehicle. But have you ever serviced it? Some people will have fire extinguisher for the past 5 years, 6 years, just because, God forbid, nothing like that will happen. It's not my portion. So they will not bother to service the fire extinguisher. And when fire occurs, you discover that it is passerby, or let's say you stop to buy fuel at a particular filling station. It is the petrol station owner that will now borrow you fire extinguisher to point, because the one in your vehicle has expired. It's not functioning. So all this not my portion, it is not my portion mentality, it can never happen to me. It is what we want to try and reorientate people to avoid anything at all that can result into fire outbreak.
Okay.
And fire starts little. It does not just develop. It will not just start like that. Any fire outbreak at all, even the so-called car fire, is only gas explosion that you cannot overrule. And one thing about gas explosion is that you must have noticed something that you neglect. So that is that.
Permit me to come in here, when we talk about this fire now, we don't pray for casualties, but when they occur, what are those toll-free lines to reach out to for safety? Yes.
The emergency lines, toll-free lines,
yes,
112.
Okay.
Anytime you call, 112 is toll-free line. If you call that number, any of the emergency responders at the NCC units will pick the call and transfer the call to the Federal Fire Service.
So there's no direct...
we have a direct, you said toll-free line. Okay. That's why I called 112.
Okay, ma'am.
So when you're talking about the toll-free line, we have it here. We have is 081 08 37 8588 081 08 37 8588.
And the line is always open.
Very always. If you can try it now.
Okay. All right.
So, Madam, what advice do you have for people out there on fire prevention?
Okay. That takes me to the fire safety tips. I think the number one on the list is good housekeeping. In our various homes, you see people arranging cartons, unused cartons, those things that are no longer useful. You pile them up. You arrange it at the lobby, at the veranda. And when fire, and one thing about all this flammable material is it aids fire. There are some fire, this season that we have now, this dry season, this Harmattan season, you don't even need much fuel. You don't need aerosol, you don't need gasoline, you don't need just this unused cartons and every other should I call it rubbish or something that you are no longer making use of around you, materials that you are not using around you, they can aid the development of fire. So we should avoid them as much as possible. Another thing is when you are about leaving your home, your offices or your business place, ensure that you put switch off your electrical devices. Yeah. Switch off your electrical devices. Every socket we have in our homes, we should ensure that we don't overload them. You don't overload any electrical outlets. Then when you are cooking in the kitchen, ensure that you don't leave the cooking unattended to.
All right. Thank you very much, madam, for coming on Morning Delight.
Thank you, ma'am.
Appreciate your coming. That was DCF Jeremiah Bideni. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming.
Now, moving on the show, we have taken our next beat, which is Artville. Let's see what we have on Artville.
Behold Benin City. The Edo State capital, known for its famous artwork, the Benin Bronzes.
Bronze casting in Benin has been an age-long, artifacts, because we understood that bronze casting started from Ogiso Uwa, because we believe in the oral tradition before the white man came, and that oral tradition has been our means of education as at that time.
The bronze is very important to the Beninese and our culture and the palace. Why? Because in those days, which we still do today, bronze casting is a form of a camera. It capture every event, like how the Oba sits and dress. We capture it, we model it. It's like we bring it out in that picture in bronze.
This artistic work of art is done by highly skilled bronze casters with precision and dedication. Each bronze sculpture takes an average of 4 months to be sculpted, molded, and then cast into bronze.
The process is, we started with the clay, the red soil. You frame any object which you want with the red soil, then you allow it to get dried. We use wax to wrap it. After the wrapping, we use the same wax to design. If it's to bring out the face, every object that you want, every design on the body, you use the wax, After then, you cover it back with a red soil with a mist. When you mist it, it's starching. You need to cover it back. That automatically means that soil will be taking the print, the mold of the wax. We melt out the wax. Then there will be a space in between the two red coil, the red coil and the one that is really used to cover the wax. Then that space is a place we will now melt the bronze and we'll pour it inside. The bronze will now take the place of the wax.
I'm trying to produce a mask using the motif of Ada and Ebe to form a mask. I use clay because clay is easy to handle than red earth. And if you are using clay, meaning it's indirect method of modeling, not direct. The direct method is using of a red earth.
Popular Egon Street remains the home of bronze work. It holds an array of magnificent casted bronze art. This area has become a World Heritage Site, receiving visitors from across borders, with a mission to experience the beauty of art in a unique way, with art that reflects the celebrated history, culture, and tradition of the Edo people.
Segment discussing safe driving awareness in the Ember month is the Assistant Co-Marshal Stella Nkechi Orakwe. She's the Zonal Commander of RS5 Headquarters Benin, also in charge of Edo State, Delta State, and Anambra State. Before we meet her, let's take a look at her picture frame. We are delighted to have you join us this morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you
very much, ma, for coming on Morning Delight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, before we dive into the conversation, let's take a look at some vox pop on safety driving.
Safe driving, as for me, I normally advise my drivers to make sure that they put on their seat belts and get good tires, and not to claim right when driving on the highway. So for that, passengers and the drivers will be safe.
During this Umba period, I advise my driver, number one, they should not drink before they enter steering. And two, they should not overspeed. Let them maintain 100. At least before you enter road, check your tires. If your tire is bad, don't manage tire. At the time you fail to do that, tire may burst, anything can happen. And we are happy today that Senator Monday Okpero is repairing the road for us. So we, the union members and the driver, we are most the happiest person. Because if road not good, it can cause accident.
So Ma, what's your take on this comment you have heard so far on this?
Thank you so much. I'm highly impressed. These comments so far, they are coming from our drivers. So it shows they are imbibing the public education and enlightenment programs we are passing across to them. You heard them advising their drivers not to drink before driving, to make sure their tires are in good order. So if we can come from the transport union, it shows there's going to be a whole lot of improvements this year to curtail crashes on our highways.
All right, madam, let's come to FRSC now. What awareness campaign does the FRSC have to enlighten a driver during this environment?
Thank you so much. A lot of campaign, education, enlightenment has been going on. Last week on the 6th precisely, we had what we call a town hall meeting to flag off Ember Month's safety campaign. It was all over the nation. Here in Edo State, we had it at Youth House at Bava, and a lot of stakeholders were invited, transport union, sister agencies, all walks of life, spiritual and traditional rulers. They were all invited. Before then, enlightenment has been ongoing in the media, TV houses, radio stations, and all that. Even just 2 days ago, we also had the motorcade rally, and we visit parks, we go to churches, places of worship to pass on this message of safety on our highways. And this year, the theme for this year's Ember Month campaign is take responsibility for your safety, avoid distracted driving. So a lot is going on. We also have what we call early morning cry, whereby every morning, early in the morning, our personnel, they go to parks, they educate drivers and passengers alike to be safety conscious. So a lot is ongoing. We are not relenting.
Okay, madam, you talked about the enlightenment campaigns now. You talked about using the media, roadworks, and visiting parks. Is there anything like any educational material, like a handbook, FRSC handbook for drivers and commuters out there? Something written down?
Yes, we have the highway code, which is available, which we advise every road user, whether you are a driver, whether you are a pedestrian, whatsoever, every Nigerian should have it. It's all encompassing. It talks about safety on the highway. Anything about safety on the highway, you find it there in the highway code.
Okay, so let's talk about increasing enforcement of traffic laws. How do FRSC do that during December month?
Enforcement. During the Ember Month, we believe in FRSC that first of all we have to educate, enlighten users. When I say road users, there are various categories of road users. We have the drivers, we have the pedestrians, and all that. So we believe so much in education, enlightenment, like I previously said. We visit places of worship, we go to parks, we visit media houses like I am here currently, educating road users on the general topic of safety, how to be safe on the highway, either as a driver, either as a passenger, either as a pedestrian. We educate.
And what are those specific safety measures to avert road accidents?
There are a lot, because we have various causes of crashes. We have the human factor, we have the mechanical factor, we have the environmental factor. And statistics has shown, research has shown that human factor, the driver in particular, constitutes 90% of crashes that occur on our highway. And like I said, this most campaign team is rightly captioned, take responsibility for your safety, avoid distracted driving. Like I said, there are a lot of factors. Fatigue can cause, somebody is tired, you see enter the vehicle to go and drive. There are a lot of things that constitute distraction, and mostly distraction has resulted to loss of lives of both drivers and passengers, like use of phone while driving. You see somebody is driving, when we talk of driver, now we don't mean just the commercial drivers. Once you are behind the wheel, you are a driver. So you are a driver, I am a driver. It's not just a commercial driver, because once we say a driver, Nigerians will have this concept of a commercial driver. Anybody that is behind the wheel is a driver, and anything you do while you are driving, outside driving, constitutes a distraction. Like I said, use of phone while driving. You see some people, they are driving, their phone rings, they pick it up to answer, or they themselves pick up the phone to make call. You see some texting, or maybe they are driving and something is happening outside. They forget that they are driving and they start watching what is happening outside, or they will start drinking while they are driving. Not just the commercial drivers, either water, either wine, alcoholic or whatnot. So you see them fiddling with the controls in their vehicle, or they will be petting the children, or they are searching for streets. A lot of things lead to crashes while driving, and driving requires 100% concentration. Is a serious business. Apart from distraction, we have other things like worn out tire. Your tire is worn out, instead of you to change, just like that driver rightly said, you say let me manage. It's not good to manage. Once your tire is worn out, you need to change it. There's what we call morning vehicle parade. Before you enter the vehicle, make sure you check all the things that need to be checked. You check the water level, you check the engine oil, you check your brake, you check the lighting system. You ensure that everything is in perfect order before you embark. Then we talk of vehicle maintenance. Let us cultivate the habit of maintaining our vehicle as and that when due. It goes a long way to ensure that crashes do not occur on our highway. Then we have the environmental factor, like when the weather is misty, when we have fog, you don't need to drive. If you are not seeing clearly, park the vehicle until the weather is clear, or when there is heavy downpour. But as now we are the rainy seasons are over, we are in the dry season, but this education is for all round the year, not just for this period. The rain is falling, heavy downpour, you are not seeing clearly, you park until the rain subsides. Make sure your wipers are working. Make sure the windscreens are not cracked. If the windscreens are cracked, it will impair your vision. Then excessive speeding. You are not on the road to compete with other drivers. You are not in a race. Drive at your comfortable speed, a speed that you can easily handle if there's any eventuality, like a burst tire, like somebody entering the road. No, you drive at your comfortable speed that you can conveniently handle when something happens. You want to embark on a trip, please set out on time. We have a slogan in FRSC, watch your speed and not your time. So ensure you take off early, and also that you don't speed excessively. There are a whole lot of things that constitute the road is bad. Then be careful, exercise caution when you are driving. You are driving on the terrain for the first time, you are not conversant with the terrain. Yes, exercise caution, because there might be a sharp bend. If you are on a high speed and there is a sharp bend, because you are not conversant with that terrain, there is the possibility that your vehicle will veer off the road when you want to brake, and it will lead to the vehicle somersaulting. And importantly, ensure that you wear your seat belt. Once you enter your vehicle, the first thing to do is to wear your seat belt. It has saved a lot of lives. Yes, a situation where you are not on your seat belt and the vehicle for any reason somersault, there is the possibility that you will be flung out of the road. So that seat belt is there to secure you tightly to the seat in case something happens. There are a whole lot of factors that constitute
really
crashes on the highway.
Really? Now let's talk about collaboration now. Does the FRSC collaborate with other government agencies, NGOs, and even the private sector to ensure safe driving?
Yes, there is a lot of collaboration because safety on the highway is everybody's responsibility. FRSC cannot do it alone. Yeah. We can't do it alone, so we collaborate with, like you said, private organizations, we collaborate with the government, we collaborate with sister agencies to ensure that we also have our non-uniformed arm of the FRSC, the special marshals, because the personnel, they are not enough. I mean FRSC personnel, so we have the non-uniformed arm that we call the special marshals to complement what we are doing. We also have the first responders. Like I said, FRSC cannot be everywhere. Like the communities that far off, when crashes occur, we have the people we call volunteers. We train them so that they just enter the road. When crashes occur, that's why they are called first responders. They go to the crash scene and assist in the rescue while awaiting the arrival of FRSC. Like we also collaborate with Ministry of Works, we collaborate with Federal Ministry of Works and other who collaborate with FEMA to ensure that they carry out palliative works on the highway so that our roads will be motorable. We collaborate with a whole lot, even the transport union, we collaborate with them. The media houses, we collaborate with them to ensure, like we are doing right now, to ensure that they pass the message of safety on the highway to the motoring public.
Thank you so much, man, for all you've said. We really appreciate your comment. What's your parting word? What can you say to our viewers back home before you leave us? Okay,
my message is that there's nothing evil associated with ember wounds. It's the same as every other wound. So for you to stay alive, I want to leave a mantra. I believe so much with our people. You know, when a crash happens and there are fatalities, I mean, people die. When people come to do the rescue, they will not ask who is right. The question that will be asked, how many are left, or how many died, how many are surviving. So my mantra, I want to live with everybody. When you are on the highway, don't claim rights, claim safety, and we will drive to arrive safely and see the next year. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So much to say, so much to talk about when it comes to safety. And I hope you have heard and will put in practice what our guests have said here. Let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Moving on, we have a great entertainment gist for you on the show today. So let's see what's trending in our entertainment news, both local and foreign entertainment news. Let's see.
On the entertainment buzz this week, new Afro hip-hop sensation Fola, also known as Folarin Odunlami, has officially crossed 1 billion stream across all platforms nationwide. Since breaking into limelight, the rising musician has caught the attention of fans both domestically and internationally. Fola Fate crossed 1 billion stream across platforms comes after the release of his album Catharsis, which has enjoyed chart success. Since breaking into mainstream in 2024 with his 8th single alone, he has become one of the fast-rising talents in Nigeria industry. Thanks to his exciting blend with Afrobeat and R&B, which he interprets rich with the use of indigenous language. This is a record that has made his biggest achievement, especially being an artist who caught mainstream attention a year ago. Fola Mainstream runs mirror of notable Afrobeat stars who dropped successfully hits in record back-out years. On the foreign scene, U.S. actor Tom Cruise has received an honorary Oscar award recently, making it his first golden statue of his decades-long career. The celebrated actor got a standing ovation of Hollywood elite. Cruise, a four-time Oscar nominee who has never won an award, spoke of his love for cinema in an heartfelt message. He praised the big screen as a place that sparked a hunger for adventure, a hunger for knowledge, a hunger for humanity, to create character, to tell a story to the world. The honorary Oscar, awarded annually by Academy of Motion Picture Art and Science, celebrates cinema legends for their career and contributions to the film industry.
A lot happened during the week, but these two made our top stories. Let's see the weekly review.
News highlight this week: the Edo State House of Assembly has set up a committee to investigate the Museum of West African Art controversy. The committee is set to hold a public hearing as part of its investigation recommendations to the Edo State House of Assembly. The Speaker, Blessing Agbebaku, gave this information during resumption of plenary on Tuesday. Recall that the launch event of the museum was derailed by protesters who broke into the building, forcing guests in attendance to seek refuge for hours. However, the opening of the museum in Nigeria has been postponed until further notice after being disrupted. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has assured citizens of Edo State of more impactful governance as his administration entered the second year. He disclosed this as he continued his one-year anniversary tour of key infrastructure projects across Edo South Senatorial District. The inspection drew jubilant crowd and widespread celebration as residents on the street hailed what they describe as a new dawn of purposeful leadership and development. The tour ended in a carnival-like atmosphere as traders, artisans, and students flooded the streets, waving banners and chanting songs of appreciation.
From our weekly highlights, let's move on now to our sports update. Let's see what's trending in the world of sports. Let's see sports update.
Kennedy Boboye needed 33 calendar days and 5 matches in the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) to finally claim his first win since taking charge of Bender Insurance this year. Boboye, however, had to watch in animated mood on the sideline as his men dug deep to earn him his first full points with the Benin Arsenal in a 3-2 win over bottom place Kano Pillars in Nigerian top division at the Samuel Ogbemodia Stadium in Benin City. The former Plateau United manager and his Kano Pillar counterpart began the match week in bottom 2 places, and interestingly, both of them prior to Saturday's meeting were yet to win any game since taking up appointments as head coach of their respective clubs. Bender Insurance, on the other hand, climbed out of the bottom 2 but remained within danger of the last 4 on the table. Here are some Premiership features for Saturday 22nd and Sunday 23rd of November 2025. That's it for Sport Rail.
On that sporting note, we've come to the end of another exciting time on the program Morning Delight. I had a very, very interesting time with you. Of course, Praise, we had a nice time together today.
Very, very pleasant time together. Yes.
Morning Delight comes your way every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and a repeat broadcast on Fridays at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Don't forget to join us on all our social media handles and keep updated on the show. So, till we see you, same station, same time next week on Morning Delight. My name is John Imean.
I am Praise.
And together
Audio. We say bye.
Bye.